What is up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. I hope everybody is having an amazing weekend out there. Hope you had a wonderful Saturday. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. I did not upload a video yesterday, so I thought I would get on this evening and record a video real quick. I was on with because I'm Carlos. If you have not, go check his channel out. He invited me into a live stream. I joined in late. I think he had been going for probably about an hour and 20 minutes maybe before I hopped on. But anyway, there was actually myself, Carlos, and 4 other guys, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the conversation. There was a lot of knowledge there in hockey. There was another guy that did a lot of non-sport and some older basketball and that sort of thing. And it was just a real casual, good talk, and just like I didn't know 4 of the guys from Adam. I've talked to Carlos a bit, private messaging and stuff. But as far as that, it was like we jumped in and had a conversation like we had known each other. So appreciate Carlos for having me on. It was a lot of fun. If you have time, it is a lengthy conversation. But if you have time, go check it out. Go give Carlos a subscribe. Anyway, before I get into this, I do want to mention, if I can get my mouse to work, I have talked in the past about setting up a website. I do have a website active now. It's bobblesandballcards.com. This is going to be, it's not fully set up yet. I'm going to have to be editing as I go along. Still really trying to learn WordPress. I'm not used to WordPress. I was used to just HTML and CSS coding. But the program and everything that I purchased and the host and all of that, it's tied in with WordPress. So I'm just giving it a go and trying to learn on the fly. When you go to the website, it's going to take you to this page. Obviously, there's nothing here. This is deferred to a store, which at some point, maybe if I can figure out payment processing without a ton of fees, this will be a good place to check out for the grading submissions. I'm not promising anything because if there's a ton of fees attached, then I'm not going to be able to offer the low price for the grading that we are currently. So that's a challenge with the checkout using from a sales platform. Also, security and all that could become an issue, and the way things are going right now, it's working pretty good. If I can get this set up and know it's safe, secure, and not a ton of fees, then that will be something we look forward in the future. But I'm not promising anything. I'm just mentioning why it's going to this currently. So if you click on home, this is just a basic, just what I've got set up so far. Talks about us doing group submissions, lowest cost you'll find, all of that. There is a little subscription thing here where you can sign up for a newsletter. If I can figure that part out, I will try to maybe put out little email things here and there. I think that would be fun to communicate with people. I do have a gallery in here. I've uploaded some cards that we've submitted. I will add to this as we go along as well. I just wanted to get some up so we had this page on here. There's a location thing, so if you guys ever need the address, it's right here, 205 South Main Street, box 1302, Culpeper, Virginia. As well as it does show a map here so you guys can see we do exist. If you put in 205 South Main Street, I also wanted to mention it does show it is the post office, so your stuff goes to a P.O. box. Alright, and then there is obviously a contact us if you want to send us an email or whatever. You can do that from the site. And then it has the socials on here. If you click here, it goes to the YouTube. If you click here, it goes to our Instagram. That way it's one spot, easy spot to find all of the social medias for everything. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I do have something up and live, and I will be trying to get it better and better over time. So there is the website. Now, Fun little thing. I'm not here to pump hockey cards or anything. I'm actually excited about hockey and the playoffs itself. And so that's why I was like, a common topic recently has been pumping and this and that. Um, as most of you know, that if you've been around the channel a while, I started buying hockey cards about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now. I've told this story. I sold, actually, just over 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago. I told this story. I sold some Zion Prism cards, and I put that money into buying a Ovechkin Young Gun, and then also used some of it to purchase a LeBron James Topps rookie. And my second card I purchased for hockey was a Topps Wayne Gretzky rookie. And then me and the missus started, like, we opened up some retail Upper Deck Series 1, 2019-20, which had, that was Cale Makar. Actually, Makar, I believe, was Series 2. Quinn Hughes was in Series 1. Trying to remember if Jack Hughes was also in Series 1. But anyway, Dominic Kubalik, some other guys were in there. And so we had bought some retail. And I was like, this is actually pretty fun. And at the time, hockey was really, really reasonable. So we started buying some hobby boxes and just have had a lot of fun opening hockey, learning about the sport, collecting, building a collection of hockey cards and everything. And this year, like I was paying attention, I guess you would say, to stats. I was stat watching when we first got into the hockey stuff. I'd catch Caps games, Capitals games here and there. But I'll be honest, I wasn't like into the sport. I was just collecting the cards because they were affordable. It was cool to pick them up. Ovechkin, being local to the Capitals. Gretzky, who doesn't know who Gretzky is. So I knew those two were smart buys. But as far as like collecting players or whatever, it was simply stat watching, right? I would send cards in of guys I felt were good, grade them, put them in the box, stash them away, voila. Well, it became really catchy to me when I started buying Jason Robertson. And I started following him more and more. And then ESPN Plus got the hockey games, and it was game over from there. I have the TV up in the room, up here in the card room. I have ESPN Plus account set up on it. And I just absolutely have enjoyed. It doesn't even matter what teams are playing. If there's a hockey game on, I'll toss it on while I'm sitting here watching and listening. Sometimes I'll have multiple ones on, so if there's different games that I'm interested in, I'll sit here and have the multicast and watch, multiple games. But it's just been fun. I'll tell you, one thing that has swayed me away from football and basketball, and I know the card market enjoys football and basketball, but me personally, the attachment to the sports, I used to be huge football and basketball fans. The sports today and those two just do not seem to be competitive throughout like the entire season. It seems like the rules are so soft now. The guys are just in basketball just 3-point, 3-point, 3-point. Football is just pass, and then you got pass interference flags and all this. The game just isn't as fun to watch to me. It's like, I know people have discussed NASCAR. I used to be a huge NASCAR fan, and when they made the cars all the same, and then majority of all of them are running the same motor, that became less interesting to me because although it put everybody on the same playing field, I thought it took away some of the strategic moves and like the manufacturer competition when it used to be Ford and Pontiac and all that. And I love the competition in sports. I love the competitiveness of the athletes. I love the competitive nature of the sports. I love seeing great games. And so that's why I've kind of moved away from football and basketball. I started watching hockey, and I realized, okay, once you can figure out like a little bit of the rules, you may not even know all of them, but if you can figure out some of the rules to where the game makes sense to you, other than they're going back and forth shooting a puck, there is so much competitive nature in this sport. First of all, I think you have the competition of baseball, right? You have the rules where they haven't changed a whole ton. They've made some adjustments to the goals and that sort of thing. But you have this competitive nature in a sport that is fast paced, like basketball, with the physicality of football. Then you get them fighting, so you can mix in a little bit of the boxing and UFC in there. And it's just like this great mesh of just nonstop action. You ever watch a football game and get sick of the commercials after every punt? Well, watch hockey. There's hardly any commercials, right? They don't really take timeouts unless it's towards, the end of the game or something like that, and the coach might throw a timeout to figure out how they're going to pull a goalie or something like that. But for the most part, there's no timeouts. It's just nonstop action. It's guys crushing each other into the boards. Games coming down to the wire. Overtime games make more sense because if you go to overtime and you lose, you don't necessarily still you didn't play the game for nil. During the regular season, the standings are based off of a point system, which makes more sense than just wins and losses, especially when it goes into overtime. So there's just lots of things that I really, after watching the game so much, realized I really enjoy about this sport. The guys aren't wusses. They get touched on their elbow or whatever. They fall to the ground and start crying. They literally beat the shit out of each other, and it's physical. And there's a competitive nature there. There's a sportsmanship nature there, but they're also physical. Hell, Ovechkin, he got hit in the face with a puck one night and came back, and I believe he had a hat trick that night. 3 or 4 goals after leaving the game because he got hit in the face with a puck. And it's like, okay, some of these guys in other sports, they get a hangnail and they're on the 10-day DL or something like that, missing 3 weeks, This dude gets hit in the face with a puck and he comes back and has one of the best games, So it's just really awesome. Now you got the playoffs rolling around, and what I have up here is the bracket. Obviously they're still in round 1, but just this right here even shows the competitive nature of the sport. There was 8 total contests. Okay, you had 4 here and then 4 over here. 5 of the 8 are in a game 7, right? You had Tampa Bay, who just knocked out Toronto. Congrats to Tampa Bay. They're back-to-back Stanley Cup winners. They're going for a three-peat. Got a tough competitor ahead with Florida. Florida knocked out the Caps in 6 games. And I believe I didn't catch the game last night for the Capitals. But I'm pretty sure that was an overtime game for Florida, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, 6 games. Tampa, they knocked out, Toronto by 1 goal. Here, Carolina, another game 7. They beat Boston. It was a 1-goal game. Then you have here the Rangers and Penguins. That's going to a game 7. You have LA and Edmonton. That's getting ready to start tonight. That is a game 7. You have Dallas, a wild card team, somebody I'm pulling for because that's who Jason Robertson plays for. Really love Jake Ottinger. But they're playing a number 1 seed Calgary team going to game 7. You have the Wild versus the Blues, another 3 seed knocking out a 2 seed. This one was in 6 games. Kaprizov had a hell of a playoffs for a young player in the league, in the sport. But a 6-game series. This was the only series that was a sweep or didn't go at least 6 games. 1 out of 8 series didn't go at least 6 games. If you can't see the competitive side to this, and this is round 1 where there's 4 wildcard teams, round 1, and 5 of the 8 series went to game 7s. You want action, you want competitiveness, go check out hockey, man, especially now in the playoffs. I'm telling you, watch the playoffs. There's some still great teams in there. I'm going to tell you, Florida, they're tough as hell. Colorado, they are a beast. But don't count out Tampa. Again, They're back-to-back champions. You got these two down here. They got history, Rangers and Penguins. Carolina, they've been a strong team all season. And then over here, hell, if Edmonton wins tonight, you got McDavid in the second round. He's kind of the Trout guy of hockey. Probably the best player in the entire league, but playoffs always elude him in a sense. So if he makes it to the second round, that would be good for the sport. I actually was kind of up here since Tampa had won back-to-back. I was kind of hoping Austin Matthews moved on, but Tampa did move on. So they have a strong team as well. And again, I'm not going to discount Calgary. They've been a hell of a team, but I really would like to see Dallas pull this off. So anyway, guys, go check the sport out. I'm telling you, there's 3 key cards that players that people collect. That's the Young Guns. That is the SP Authentic Future Watch, normally autoed. They do have patch autos. Sometimes a player doesn't have an autograph. It's just a Future Watch. And then the Cup RPAs. Those are the 3 key cards. But there is many things out there. There is O-Pee-Chee Platinum, which is like a Prism product. There is Exquisite cards. There's Ultimate Collection. You have lower, what people would consider lower tier with like Allure, which is probably similar to like maybe a Select or something. But there's like something for everyone out there. There is metal, there's PMGs and everything. In the thumbnail, I put my green Jason Robertson PMG. So yeah, it's fun. It's a great hobby. If you love collecting, I'm telling you, you will be hooked. So let's pump hockey, guys. I hope you catch some of the playoffs. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. But as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.